It is Stugotz and Company, presented by FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. A lot of NBA news. NBA draft is coming up tomorrow night. Adnan Virk is going to join us in just a little bit. We'll have the Week 10 observations. We'll do those with Adnan today. But Izzy, a big day in the NBA. Not only are we sitting around, and we realize by the time you listen to this, all of this could be dated, okay, if news breaks. But we are sitting around waiting to see if Giannis gets traded to the Boston Celtics or the Heat. And we have news that actually did happen, which is Dusty May, the head coach at Michigan, who won a national championship. He is now the coach for the Dallas Mavericks. How about that? Yes.
Yeah, the DM in Dusty May stands for Dallas Mavericks.
The rare coach whose initials are also the initials of the team that he coaches. How about that? Huh?
Oh, man. It's meant to be.
Another example. I'll wait here all day. Huh?
Washington.
Taylor's thinking about it.
I guarantee you no, and this is not a shot at Dusty, right? He's a good basketball coach, whatever. I guarantee you no veteran NBA player in that Mavericks locker room wants to be coached by Dusty May next year because they know nothing's going to be really expected of this team. But there's a lot going on. And the big sort of waiting game is on Giannis Antetokounmpo and whether he's going to get traded. And there's news that the two finalists are the Celtics and the Heat, which cracks me up. This is like free agency all over again. Yeah. But Stu, we talked last week about whether it would be better for the league if he went to one or the other. There seems to be some momentum saying that it'd be better if he does go to Miami. What I'm curious about is if Jaylen Brown is enough of an incentive for anybody to really for the Bucks, to change the direction of where they're going with that trade. Because if you're starting a team with Jaylen Brown as your best player, I know he won the Finals MVP, but that team was stacked. It had Jason Tatum, it had Drew Holiday, it had Kristaps Porzingis, it had Derek White, and so I don't think if you're trading for Jaylen Brown as somebody who's got Giannis Antetokounmpo that you think you hit a home run with the trade.
I think Jaylen Brown thinks differently about his own game than we think about his game. Meaning Jaylen Brown would just point to last season and say, hey, before Jason Tatum came back, we were doing fine. We exceeded expectations with me as the number one, which is why he said this was the most enjoyable basketball season he's ever had, because he finally got to see what it would be like for him to be the number one player on a team. And it looked pretty good, Izzy. To his credit, it looked pretty good. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this from Milwaukee's perspective, and I'm saying, hey, I don't want Tyler Hero in picks. Give me a guy, Jaylen Brown, who was a Finals MVP and as the best player on this Celtics team. That team was a 2 or a 3 seed in the Eastern Conference before Tatum came back, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, you've got to tell yourself, okay, I can win with this guy, because really you're talking about the future. You're talking about the picks, and you're talking about finding a way to build a championship team, and that's got to be a true rebuild. It's not going to involve Tyler Hero in all likelihood.
It seems like all the reports are that the Miami Heat know that Jaylen Brown is on the table, and now they're trying to find a third or a fourth team to make the deal even better for Milwaukee, where maybe it's a case of you send Tyler Hero to Detroit, and then Detroit is sending assets back to the Bucks. Izzy, there was a report from the Miami Herald's Anthony Chiang, and he said the Miami Heat don't want to gut their roster and draft capital for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And what that sounds like to me is Pat Riley getting ahead of the story and being like, hey, guys, when I don't get this guy, don't be mad at me, because I kind of put it out there. We weren't that interested in gutting the roster.
Right. Well,
even though I offered my entire roster. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally everybody that was listed on there except for Bam Adebayo. And there's not like they're holding off because of Andrew Wiggins. It's not like they're holding off because they're asking for Davion Mitchell or anything like that. So, yeah, it is one of those situations. And it makes me sad because like Stu, this is the one where if they don't get Giannis, they're just going to pull every other trigger available. It's going to be like, hey, let's go for Kawhi. Okay, maybe let's add him with Ja Morant. Hey, let's see what we got. And then you've got a team full of non-Heat guys because you're just swinging at whoever is
non-culture guys, right? And you're desperate. You're right. Yes, you're swinging for the fences with Ja Morant and Kawhi
and just crossing your fingers.
I got to be honest. It sounds exciting though. Kawhi Leonard and Ja Morant. It does. Yeah.
It would be the most boomer bust team in history. It could be like a 70-win team, or it could be like a 30-win rebuild team where everybody sits out the entire season.
Yes.
But Stu, you know this. Right now, me and you, we're sitting on top of the mountaintop. We're looking down at the rest of the NBA. The rest of the NBA is crawling, trying to get up this hill to catch Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and the Knicks. I'm looking at some of the graphics that people are putting out of projected starting lineups if their teams get Giannis. And I'm looking at the Celtics one. Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Cueta at the center position. I'm looking at that team and I'm like, this is the starting five you want me to be afraid of as I'm cradling my Larry O'Brien trophy? You think this is the team that takes us out?
Izzy, people wanted us to act like we've been there before, but again, we've never been here before, and I'm with Taylor. What a great feeling to sit back and read about and watch what everyone has to do to catch the New York Knicks. Oh, it's delightful.
Got to start a super team to stop this team. But no, you're so right, Taylor.
And Giannis isn't enough.
Giannis is not enough. Like, I'm looking at that team. I'm like, yeah, no, that's definitely not enough. And then you've got, and the frustrations will still be there. Jason Tatum doesn't go inside enough. Giannis Antetokounmpo can't shoot outside enough. You're not going to have a perfect team.
Right. Yes. This is an amazing place we've arrived at, Taylor.
The NBA is saying, can I get some time back?
We're on easy street.
Yes. The NBA is saying, we saw how interesting it was and when the Knicks were winning and everybody loved it. Now we need some player movement because I think there's going to be a lot of activity right before this draft.
Taylor, you'll love this. Just the way Karl Anthony Towns handled Wemby and the way the Knicks handled Wemby in the NBA Finals. I'm sitting there going, big deal. Like, Giannis, go wherever the hell you want. You should join the Knicks if you want to win a title. That's how cocky I was over the weekend. Go to Boston. Go to Miami. We stop Wemby. We don't sweat you. I mean, get out of here.
So I love how that not even a week after the Knicks win a title, I did see Knicks fans and media members, WFAN, circulating the thought, hey, eventually the Knicks are going to get into second apron talk with Karl Anthony Towns. Is this the time you move on from Karl Anthony Towns and offer him up in a Giannis trade? And I'm like thinking, guys, I have waited my entire life for the Knicks to win a title. Please do not put any of our star players in trade talks until at least next year's trade deadline. Let us just all enjoy this title run where Vincent Goodwill's on Get Up saying that Karl Anthony Towns is still upset over how the Knicks treated him.
I'll be quiet.
Karl Anthony Towns is not upset over anything right now because you know why, Stu? He's an NBA champion. Everybody doubted him, myself included. Yeah. But Karl Anthony Towns has no problems with anybody.
In fairness to you, you doubted him when you closed your eyes. I mean,
yes. I didn't have blind faith in Karl Anthony Towns.
No, you didn't. But now we do. And I'm fine with Karl Anthony Towns spending the next 20 years here. 10 of them past his prime and just retiring as a New York Knick. I don't care. I'm fine with this group of guys being Knicks for the next 10 years. I don't care if they win another game. They win a title. What do I care? Is that fair, Izzy?
Yes, except when I tell you, as soon as I do all the calculations, what Karl Anthony Towns' final numbers were in those finals, you'd say, yeah, we could find a more inexpensive version of that. Because
old Debbie Downer over there. I mean,
I'm just saying, you might not have to go into that second apron if you don't need to.
Right. So the Heat would have Giannis and Bam, and that's about it, right? I mean,
they'd have Giannis, Bam, Andrew Wiggins still. They could probably still bring back Norm Powell if they wanted to, and Davion Mitchell. And that is a pretty,
it's solid
off defensive lineup. Like outside of Norm Powell, those are 4++ defenders, and it's going to be really hard to score on them. But, you know, if they have to give up everybody, where they don't have anybody on the bench, like no Pelle Larsson or no Jaime Jaquez or no anybody on that bench, then yeah, they're going to struggle some. But that starting lineup is going to be pretty sick.
Izzy, what I'm surprised about is the Celtics don't think they're good enough. They were up 3-1 on Philadelphia. They were on the verge of playing the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know what happened in that Sixers series. Embiid came back. He was ridiculous. The Sixers end up winning that series. But the Celtics are waving the white flag. They're saying this team is not good enough to beat the New York Knicks, and I find that to be amazing. I really do.
Well, I think if you just compare, like I did a little earlier, this Celtics team to the one that won a championship, you recognize, yeah, we are a little talent deficient. We were able to win with our style and with our 2 stars and, 2.5 stars if you want to include Derek White in there. Sure. But yeah, no, if we're going to get through the 4, because even that 24 season, it was tough, right? The year before or 2 years before, they were supposed to win it and they lost to the Warriors and that team was stacked. So they're probably looking back and say, hey, we had a heck of a regular season. but that postseason tells us more about who we are than that regular season did.
You want Giannis down here in the worst way, don't you? Of course you do. Yeah.
Me, as a South Floridian, of course. But yes. I do think, like, if there were other places in the league he could go to that were finalists, I would say, yeah, let me think about that. Like, even Portland deserves something, right? And they have Drew Holiday over there, and, there could have been a bit of a reunion there. And I would say that team deserves it more. But between these two, between Boston and Miami, I just think the league's in a better place if he's in Miami right now.
Where could Giannis go? Where in the East, I'm saying, where that team would be good enough to challenge the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Well, Detroit would be one, easily. I think the Cavaliers would be one. If you replace Giannis, replace either of those two guys up front with Giannis, probably Evan Mobley with Giannis. I think that's a difference maker. I think now that you've got CJ McCollum back, I think the Atlanta Hawks could do something with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I just don't want to talk about it. Yeah.
This is why I said last week, if he comes to Miami, like, regardless of what the actual final playoff result is, they're going to win 55-ish games. They're going to be a successful team, and the move will look successful, and we'll all wonder, hey, can they finish the deal in the playoffs? That's how great of a player he is as long as he's healthy.
If Tyler Hero goes to Milwaukee, man, that guy will lead the NBA in scoring.
I mean, he's going to have a lot of shots. I think, like Taylor said earlier, the most recent reporting is that he ends up in Detroit in a Duncan Robinson reunion. And man, that would be pretty cool. Not that reunion, but the idea that he goes to a place where I have this number one scorer in Cade Cunningham right here. I'm his outlet. I'm a guy that if I have a 30-point game, we're definitely going to win. And if I don't, it's not all the pressure on me. I would love to see him in Detroit.
That's when Hero's at his best, when he plays alongside Jimmy Butler, when he's not the number one option, right? Yeah. They went to the finals, right?
I think he'll tell you that, right? He's like, I'm not a number one option for a finals team, but I'm a heck of a number two.
Mikey, you've been making faces the entire time. You do not like where Taylor and I have arrived as cocky, confident Knicks fans, right? You don't like it. You hate it. Yeah.
No, just a few things. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm just taking mental notes as you guys are going back and forth. Like, here's a day where Dusty May is going from Michigan to the Dallas Mavericks, and Giannis is going to move to either Boston or Miami, and somehow it all became about the Knicks because Taylor had that, which is great. That's what you get to do as the champ.
It is all about the Knicks.
And then the other thing was Stugotz saying, I don't care if Karl Anthony Towns is on this team for 10 years. If they start 0-3, you'll be screaming for them to start making some moves. I know you. And that's what's great about you.
Yeah, I didn't say 10 years. I said 20 years. And you're right. If they go 0-3, I will fire him. Yep, I'll trade him. Yep. But right now, I'm still in the moment. Can I enjoy it? I mean,
I didn't say. You asked me. I wasn't going to say anything.
But you're annoyed by us. Taylor rubbing off on me. Amused by us. Izzy, before we get to Adnan here, I think people aren't really, well, maybe they are paying attention to this piece of this puzzle here. What a big day this is. What a big moment this is for Pat Riley. It shouldn't be, Izzy. His legacy, as far as I'm concerned, is cemented. But people are starting to question whether Riley can attract a big-time free agent or make a big-time deal anymore. And I think it's laughable, okay? He has cemented his legacy with me. But if he doesn't get this done and doesn't get Giannis here, and Giannis ends up going to Boston and Brad Stevens, it's going to be a bad couple of days down here for Riley, you know?
Yeah, and you know what I find it's been tough? Like, when you think about the moves that he made back in the day, they were all made or like greenlit because he had Dwayne Wade as part of the organization, because he was, drafted by the organization, was clearly great and was going to be there for a long time. Like, he's basically doing that same sales job all these years with only Bam Adebayo. And it's a tougher ask. It's a tougher sell. And so if he gets it done now with Giannis, it would be like, great, I got it done. But he'll realize, man, like, you need that homegrown talent. You need that special player. You need that, like the Bucks have in Giannis, or the Celtics had in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And it's like, hey, we know Jason Tatum's not going anywhere. Come with us. We've shown we can win with this guy as our leader. Let's go ahead and close that deal. There's just so many question marks when it comes to Bam. It's like, yeah, he got close with Jimmy, but who is he really? And so it just makes you nervous about it. But I do think they would be capable of closing the deal.
Taylor, put it on the poll. Will Tyler Hero or Jaylen Brown lead the NBA in scoring next year?
If Jaylen Brown is a buck, I would say, yeah, that's a pretty good bet.
Yeah. Tyler's not going there, you're saying, though.
No, I doubt it. I mean, it is interesting because his brother did put up the picture of a buck and make it think like, he's coming back home. But that was earlier in the negotiation.
But if Jaylen Brown thought last year was fun, imagine what it's like in Milwaukee where no one cares.
Well, it'll be a good question. It'll be a good question whether it's like, hey, I'm averaging 35, but nobody notices. Does he like that better?
We lost in a play-in game. Adnan Virk to talk some hockey, talk some tennis, talk some soccer. He joins us next. Stugotz here. The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. And now, FanDuel has given you a reason to root for every single one, introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. That's right. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. From the opening whistle to the final kick, let there be goals on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/Stugotz to get started today. That's FanDuel.com/Stugotz.
21 and over in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 and over in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050 in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY New York. Call 1-877-770-7867 in Louisiana.
He is fresh out of the shower. He just went to a workout class. He swore to us that he had quit those workout classes. It just wasn't worth it. Adnan Virk is with us. What's going on a busy day here on a Monday? How about that?
I can promise you, Stu, no more Zumba. That's the one thing I said to my wife. I said, no more Zumba. But I still, the workout classes, because it's a hit class. Izzy knows you're working in some weights. It is a good workout. You feel like I'm building a little bit of a kinship with my wife. Still hasn't impacted our sex life, but I'm trying to do whatever I can. Hopefully this will help in the bedroom at some point. But I got to tell you, I was listening to the podcast of yours to catch up. That Randy Fun conversation is one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time. Holy smokes. I cannot wait to text Levitard just pictures of Randy Fun. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? I'm like, no, just I pop up Randy Fun. And the fact that Taylor knew how to spell Randy Fun's name.
Yes.
Silent P.
Again, the audience has to listen to this. The story was so well told by Hawk. But basically, Levitard went apeshit because he wasn't there. Randy Fund, who as Stu points out, he's contractually obligated to go on the show. It's like a weekly appearance.
Yes.
Levitard lost his mind over it. Of all the people you would think that Dan would be upset over, Randy Fund, P-F-U-N-D, would not be the one I would expect.
It was weird. So for those of you, there is a new episode of With Stugotz and Hawk. It is out right now. We break down the spelling bee in addition to talking about
and spelling Randy Fund.
We did have so we were contractually obligated. We were the Heat's flagship radio station, and part of that deal was we would rotate Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, and Randy Fund. I will tell you that every third week I was like, oh man, it's Funds week again. But there's nothing we could do about it. I mean, that was the contractual obligation that we had, and Dan was on vacation. Why? Because Randy Fun's week was up, and so Dan decided to call into the show. We had 5 or 6 minutes before we had to break. Randy Fun was going to join us next, and Levitard went apeshit on Hockman for kicking him off his show for Randy Fun.
Every name in the book he's calling Hockman, like literally just cursing this guy like you wouldn't believe. He went Craig Carton on Dan Levitard. It was that.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. The level of rage over Randy Fun.
Yes. Well, I think it's a level of rage of getting kicked off your own show by your executive producer, who's your best friend, who you hired. Hawk didn't give a bleep.
Stu, I got you guys every Monday, every third Monday, an alarm goes off, and it's like, damn it, Fund Week. What are we going to do?
All I'm praying for, Stu, is that Randy Fun somehow hears that story. Because I'm telling you, he has no idea the amount of animus that he caused between Levitard and Hockman. Lifelong friends, college buddies, and all of a sudden just an eruption of Mount Hellenus. And this guy's just going about his life, Randy Fun, doing his thing. He has no idea how despised he was as a weekly guest.
No, and Dan should really think about, what a difficult spot he left me in alone with Randy Fun for 20 minutes, which feels like 3 hours. hours. I mean,
like the different circles of hell. Like there's nothing better than Art Briles to see you in hell, but we have to find a category for Randy Fund. Like that's.
Here's a version of hell. Make Randy Fund interesting for 20 minutes.
Desert
Is he? He has so much respect for the Heat, for Randy Fund. He does not like that we're making fun of him.
I mean, I was making fun of him. I knew it was coming. I was a young reporter, and Randy Fund, I looked. He was the GM of the team that I covered. You know, those people have this like aura about them, and it's like, wow, this guy. And then he left, and I heard some stories, and then you see other people take the spot, and I was like, I shouldn't have been so afraid of Randy Fund.
It's like being at a house party. Everyone's having a good time. Izzy's here, Stu's here, Taylor's. Oh, great. Fun just walked in. Died with Randy Fund.
Poor Randy. We love you, Randy.
Very accomplished man.
The character assassination of Randy Fund.
Oh, God.
Also, what an incredible story. Samson wanted you guys to watch Let It Ride, a Richard Dreyfuss horse racing movie. Like, what an awful idea. Who the hell cares about Let It Ride? Awful.
Well, Samson did, and he does, and he still does. It's funny. We were feeling so good about ourselves as a radio show that we thought we could pull anything off. And so even David Sampson joining us for the movie Let It Ride, okay, was something we thought was going to pack a movie theater. And man, were we served up some humble pie that night. I got to tell you, man, no one showed up.
The best part is Dan calling Hawk the next day, like, hey, how can we avoid that? Right? We can't have that happen. Like, he wants like a checklist. And you said, just give me one idea. Don't bring Samson.
Yeah. Yes. Low attendance follows him. I mean,
to be fair, Stu, when everything is riding high, as you say, bringing Samson in is an ambitious Heat check.
Right, things are going so well. Let's see how they deal with Samson. Okay,
right.
Now we know. Like that.
Yes.
That's we overstayed our welcome. Right.
Yes. Can I just acknowledge Stugotz is on fire today? The low attendance follows him is one of those that should have taken a little bit more time to be.
Great. Well, it's only because I said it yesterday on the episode.
Okay. Well, you're still on fire.
I was locked and loaded.
Right.
Normally, this would lead into a conversation about the Heat. There's a lot of news going on, but we don't want to we'll get to that with Izzy, and we'll get to the weekend observations coming up here as well. What a big day on the pitch, Adnan. I mean, wow, today. This is the day you've been waiting for. You circle this day on your calendar when the schedule comes out.
This is what I want to get to, Stu. Everyone's talking about the World Cup, and I get it. I'm not going to be that guy besmirching soccer, although I'll point out since 1986, I've been hearing people every 4 years going, hey, soccer's taking over. I'm telling you right now, soccer it's going to take over baseball, NBA, football. It's going to be the biggest sport in America. I've been hearing that for 40 years, but it's all good. I understand it's a very popular sport. It is the world's game, and it gets more popular incrementally, no doubt. I never thought I'd see Premier League highlights in SportsCenter, for example. I know friends who now cover it, follow it more. So absolutely, soccer is growing. What I'm amused by is a couple things. One, Izzy's very pro-Scotland. I wouldn't have thought of all the teams. Izzy's throwing his weight behind the Scots. I'm amused by that now, and I'm watching. Okay. The other Tuesday, I said, okay, I've got to start getting into the soccer. Everyone's into it. I feel like I'm listening out. Four matches all ended in draws. Imagine
what a day.
Hey, another 0-0, another 1-1, another 2-2.
That's what I'm talking about.
Who try to slam baseball and say, baseball is boring, nothing happens. Guess what? Runs do get scored. The Blue Jays were down 5-0 against the Cubs and then rebounded to win 8-5. The 23 runs the Rockies scored the other day in Vegas. It's not going to be 0-0 if you watch a 9-inning baseball game. I promise you, somebody will score runs.
How fun are the Scots?
Oh, my God. The Scots are great. Listen, I'm pro-Scots. There's no doubt about it. The other issue is this. Selfishly, it's impacting my life because where are the games taking place? MetLife Stadium. Where's MLB Network located? Secaucus, New Jersey. That's 5 minutes away. So to get to work, I'm on the 17th, then I got to go to the 3, Meadowlands Parkway, right to work. Today, we've got a howitzer coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern, and on the show, it's 10:30 to 12:30 a.m. MLB Tonight. So I'm curious how this is going to impact the traffic of the
Norway, Senegal.
Except Norway, Senegal I never thought that would be impacting my life here in late June. I'm trying to get to work, just trying to talk a little baseball, and I have to worry about Senegalese fans and Norwegians populating Jersey going berserk. I don't know how to play on this. Like, should I get there super early? Should I get there later? Mikey had tickets to that game.
I have tickets to that game. Did you want them? I'll sell them to you.
Wait, you already sold them.
Yeah, but I mean, I can if I can get Adnan to give me more money, I'll take that.
We'll get him back. That's right.
I'm hoping there's not too much traffic too, because think about it. People are coming from New York. They're not coming from where I live in North Jersey. They're not coming from suburban New Jersey to go to MetLife. So it should be just all the congestion from New York, and mainly people, I would think, Penn Station, it's the trains that are a disaster. NJ Transit, forget about it. I think driving, I should be okay. But if not, I blame Norway and Senegal, and I'll hold a grudge against them forever.
Adnan, you mentioned the frequency of which there have been draws so far this World Cup. I actually have this stat. If you bet $100 on draw in every match so far in the World Cup, you'd be up a little over $3,000.
Oh, my God. Well, no goals. Yes.
No,
just ties. Just ties.
Right. If you bet $100 on the tie in each match, you'd be up over $3,000.
Wow. Taylor just figured out a way to make soccer interesting. He just did draws the entire way. Bet on it, and you're good to go. I have to admit, my mom moved from Pakistan to England when she was young, so all my family's in England. All my cousins in the group chat, they're going nuts. This is what the world's about, World Cup, where it's at. So sorry, I'll watch the England matches. Of course, I'll support family. The England match 4-2 was great. And afterwards, everyone's like, dude, that was the best match by far. I got to be honest with you. It was fine. I mean, they won 4-2. I'm glad there was goals scored. But if someone tells me that's the best that our sport has to offer, I'm like, that was a 5. Like, okay, they won 4-2. Harry Kane, couple goals. That guy's awesome. I'm like, that's the best your sport has to offer. That's your game 7. That is your game 4. Knicks come down. Like, wow. I'm just astonished to see what a 1 on your scale registers. That's Spain, Ivory Coast, 0-0.
That was no Reds Pirates. That's what we're saying.
I could get a set of bagpipes, but like they're $1,500, like $2,000 for bagpipes. I don't think I would ever pay that much. I wonder if I can get like a bootleg version and just kind of walk the streets playing the bagpipes.
That's what,
the guy wants to move to Scotland.
They're coming down to South Florida, man.
Well, think about it, because if you think of Scots, bagpipes come to mind immediately. Greenery, like the lushness of the atmosphere, the castles. And the Scots, the only issue with the Scots is the diet. But the kilt is good. The diet is brutal. Like haggis is just like, oh my God. Like Izzy's diet would go to shit if he became the Scots.
No, but Adnan, imagine if you're from Norway and all the beauty that surrounds you when you live in Norway, and then you're stuck and saddled with Secaucus, New Jersey. I mean,
it puts the cock in Secaucus. There's no question about it. Nothing quite like the swamp of the Meadowlands for these Norwegians. We don't have this in Oslo, thank God.
Yes. Do you guys? I want to go ahead, Adnan. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I don't like the fact when people start using soccer vernacular in other sports. To be clear, I have no issue with someone saying 0-0 or 2-0. I get that's the vernacular. Right. I don't necessarily mind if someone says it's on the pitch rather than saying the field. I start to get annoyed when people start to say, hey, with regards to the Mets, they could play with some more pace. I go, okay, just shut the hell up. I think what you mean to say is they should be faster on the bases. Don't start using it other places. I wish there was more pace with regards to the Vegas Golden Knights hockey team. Like, keep your soccer terms to your soccer, okay?
Don't see. I got to push back on that. I got to push back because equalizer is one of the best terms in sports. Imagine somebody hits a game-tying home run and there's the equalizer. That's awesome.
But I'm not certain. I was thinking about this over the weekend. I think it just works well in soccer. I don't think it works well in other sports, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if I hear someone say, I got to go take the lift, I'm like, come on, listen. In soccer, it's one thing. You don't want to see the elevator? Fine. I'll allow in soccer. Anywhere else, excuse me, I go to the loo? Like, come on. This is just.
I just Googled what haggis is, and now I don't care to go to Scotland anymore.
I just completely changed Izzy with one thought. Haggis.
It's a savory pudding containing sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, minced with chopped onion, oatmeal, something I don't understand how to say, and then seasonings and salt, and then wrapped in the animal's stomach.
So gross.
Adnan, I think the two biggest things going for this World Cup right now is, one, the star factor has been off the charts. You get the hat trick from Messi, the braces from Haaland and Mbappe. Mo Salah scores for Egypt yesterday. The other thing, USA might actually be pretty good in this World Cup, where they win consecutive World Cup games for the first time since 1930. And then they're asking Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the post game after the Australia match, and he said, Rebecca Lowe just asked him pretty straightforward, can the U.S. win the World Cup? He said, yes.
Yep. Classic Zlatan. Yep.
And listen, I will say the desk has been great. I love Alexi Lawless from our days at ESPN. He was good friends with my buddy Max Bredos. So Lawless can always take a joke, too. Thierry Henry, Ibrahimovic, those guys love giving him the gears. Obviously, Rebecca Lowe, terrific host. And you're right. There's one thing about Americans I've learned living in this country now for 16 years. On a national level, if the team's good, people will care. You know, USA Hockey, if it's in the Olympics gold medal against Canada, people are locked in. They couldn't give a crap about the Nashville Predators in March. But USA Hockey wins. So similarly with soccer, who really cares about Bayern Munich in the Champions League? But if USA can win a title on home soil, that would be remarkable. So I absolutely am with you, Taylor. The fact that if USA can win and has a legit good team, I wouldn't even know. What's the best America's ever done? I'm guessing round of 16.
I think quarterfinals.
I think so, yeah. Quarterfinals, yeah.
Even to get to a semi would be great. And I do love the star power. I don't know anything about him, but I do love saying Mbappe because I was driving past. There was a France game, and I just started yelling, "Hey, Mbappe!" They're like, "Yeah, I'm like, yeah, Mbappe. That guy is awesome." And I do love Mo Salah. If I had one player I love, Mo Salah with Egypt. That guy's sick. I do love him. He's great.
Taylor, put it on the poll. Could Mo Salah be the name of your bookie?
Feeling pretty good here at Churchill Downs. Just going to go make a call to Mo Salah.
And then you said Alexi Lawless can take a joke.
Yeah.
He would have to right now, right? Have to be able to because he's taking a beating.
No question. I mean, for years, he was like the one good player, right? He was the one good defender that they had for USA Soccer, and USA Soccer wasn't particularly good. So it's like, all right, I'm the good player in a bad team, so to speak. And he's really good on television, right? He's funny, he's articulate, he's obviously on SportsCenter commercials, etc. So you're right. With those guys, I'm like, hey, I'm up against a couple of studs here. Like everyone, even a casual soccer fan knows how good Ibrahimovic is. Even a casual knows how good Thierry Henry is. So you're right. It's like, hey, I'm a player. I know my stuff. Okay. Oh, wait, but I'm not quite at this level. So I think Lawless knows he knows his terrain, so to speak, and he knows with whom he's dealing with.
Do you guys think the United States could win it? I'll start with Izzy. I'll start with you. Zlatan said that. He did not hesitate. He hasn't wavered since. He's doing the thing that I tell everyone to do. Why not? Just pick the United States. If they win, you look like a genius. If they don't, no one will remember. Do you think the United States can win? I don't.
I'm judging it more based on who else I've seen, and I've pretty much seen almost every match, and I don't see anybody just jumping off the TV screen for me in terms of this team is definitely going to be, a semifinalist even or make a run. Argentina, maybe if Messi is staying on that level of form, but I see the U.S. matches, and I'm just like, yeah, there's nothing that I feel like can absolutely overwhelm them. They're good up front. The midfield is strong. Defensively, they can, be a leak a little bit, but I haven't really seen it yet. So if they look like they can, stay with these other teams and beat these teams that are below them, then why wouldn't they be, competing?
Adnan?
I'd like to use my time to talk about the fact Canada won their first World Cup match ever. Canada had been in two previous World Cups, 0-3 both times. This time we tie Bosnia. How do you beat Bosnia, a country of 3 million? Well, we tied them and then just smashed the crap out of Qatar. 6-0 for Canada. So
easy
whether
draw.
or not, well, I don't know. Listen, ultimately, Canada, Switzerland, big game on Wednesday. But if USA wins, I'd be thrilled. But if not, let's just get Canada to the group stage. I'd be thrilled.
Yeah, they need something. I feel good for Canada, right?
You beat us in hockey in the men's. You beat us in hockey in the women's. Just let us get to the group stage of the World Cup. That would be enough for our country.
Yes. Taylor, how are you feeling about, as the biggest soccer fan amongst us here, how do you feel about the U.S., their chances of winning the whole thing here?
He was the first to declare the team as electric. So
he was. No, he said this could be their year. In his defense, he said, before Zlatan said it, he said this could be their year. Before they were 2-0, he said this could be their year. He did.
So I think saying they could win it is a bit too much right now because you'd like to see them do it in the groups, in the knockout stage beforehand. And right now, the biggest concern is Pulisic is injured. There's no really timetable for when he should be back. And he's the United States' best player and kind of the one that gets that offense going forward. I think at the very least, my expectations for this team, the Final Eight. If they could get to the Final Eight, Stu, you know this. Once you're in the Final Eight, all bets are off. All things can happen. Anything can happen. And what really changed it for me, Adnan, is I'm back in New York and I'm watching the Knicks win the NBA Finals, and I'm like, if the Knicks can win the NBA championship,
anything is possible.
Anything is possible. The USA could win a World Cup now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't quite buy the rehabilitation of James Dolan. I mean, Jim Dolan for years has been a terrible person. He treats people awful owner. Like, let's just stop that one right now, okay? People are like, oh, this guy, hey, even James Dolan's a winner. Hey, no. Leon Rose is a winner, okay? He put this team together. Jalen Brunson's a winner, okay? Those guys are absolute studs. I'm not going to be supporting James Dolan as long as the Knicks are champions. But you're right, Taylor. The Knicks do have you believing. I will say this, unpopular thought. You're going to be offended by me. Parades, overrated. I had a guy here at my local grocery store, comes in all Knicks decked out. I go, oh man, go Knicks, awesome. He's like, yeah, I just come back from the parade. I go, really? How was it? He goes, well, how did you be there at 2:30? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, at 3 a.m. they started shutting it down. I'm like, shutting what down? He goes, shutting the entrance to get there. You had to get there at 2:30 a.m. He's like, yeah. He goes, then you got to stand there for 8 hours. He goes, yeah, it started at 11. I go, you can't take a piss. You can't take a dump. You can't go anywhere. You can't eat. He's like, no, 8 hours standing there just for 30 seconds of waving at Mariska Hargitay. I love the parade. It was awesome on my television set. If I lived in Manhattan, maybe it's different. You just walk outside, okay, I'll get a spot here, wave, we'll figure it out. Taylor, to actually go the night before, as this guy did, outrageous.
Adnan, 1,000% agree with you. I called the parade a once-in-a-lifetime event because I only needed to do it once in my lifetime. Parades are better in idea than they are in actually executing them.
Yeah, they're better down Main Street than they are in Manhattan. I mean,
like the Carolina Hurricanes parade, a little bit better. Why? Raleigh, a little more spread out. You can organize it. People can show. It was
great.
Right? There's not 8.8 million people cramming in.
Yeah.
I would go to the Hurricanes parade as a non-Hurricanes fan just to enjoy it, even though it's happier for the Knicks.
How about Brindamore? I mean, that guy is jacked. Holy hell, man.
Dude, I said the other day on NHL Network, I said, I think he's got 7% body fat. And Thomas Hickey said 7. If you said that to his face, he'd punch you in the, he'd take you down. I think it's like 3. He's like, dude, the guys couldn't wait to rip his shirt off just so all the people could see how jacked their coach is. Like, it is ridiculous. Izzy Gutierrez level.
3% is unsafe.
3, right? I think the bare minimum is at least 4, right? 4 or 5. I think lower than that, it's not good for you. But he's in unbelievable shape. I love Rob the Bot. And a great guest with Stugotz. You got to have him back on the podcast now. He'll be great.
I'm trying to get him this week. Martelli Jr. wants in, though. That's the problem. I got to coordinate schedules. Yes.
I love the Mount Rushmore of Flyers. Brendan Moore was so great. Love Bobby Clark. Loves Lindros. I was locked in.
Yeah, he's about 5-6% max.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Right? Dude, this guy's in his 50s. That's ridiculous.
It's insane. What'd you make of Matthew Tkachuk? Now, Brady, his brother, is now joining Matthew in South Florida. Canada loses again. After we just talked about them winning something, a soccer match, they lose another Tkachuk. What'd you make of this? A couple of Tkachuks cutting it up in South Florida, huh?
I'm so glad you brought it up, Stu. I was doing baseball yesterday. Taylor was texting me about Sunday stretch. He's locked in. He's watching Peacock. And then my producer, JD Lindbergh, who's also a big hockey guy, goes, Tkachuk to Florida. I go, you're kidding. He's like dead serious. I'm like, wow. And I said, I have so many thoughts. One, I got to get the hell out of here before I have to handle the breaking news, which I thankfully did. I got on the highway before. Hey, is that interrupt? No, you already left. Sorry, guys. Get to it. Somebody else is standing. Like, go get Brian Kennedy to talk hockey.
Heady play.
So, heady play by me. I had to get the hell out of there before I had to get somebody on.
Right. But, plus, Senegal's in town. I mean,
Senegal's in town. Norway's here. I'm like, I can't take any chances. You're in the traffic. But listen, it is great for the Panthers. Are you kidding? Once again, South Florida wins. I mean, this is so funny. And it's great for the sport because now you have a true villain in the Panthers. I'm telling you, the amount of Canadians who already hated Sunrise, Florida, and now go, wait, you went from the nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario. Brady Tkachuk is the one guy they really care about Ottawa, and he's gone. This U.S. group chat changed everything. They all went to the Olympics and they go, hey, dude, I'm not playing in Ottawa anymore. F that. I'm going to join you. I don't care what it takes. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Dylan Larkin wants out of Detroit. Why? He wants to go somewhere else. Wants to go to Utah or Vegas or Florida. Hey, no state tax. Nobody cares about hockey down here. It's all good. No pressure. Ottawa, this sucks. It's cold. The media's all over me. We've never won. It's miserable. Florida, yeah, I'm with my brother. Bananas. Let's go. We're at the beach. This is awesome. So it's a great win for Brady Tkachuk. It's a huge win for Matthew Tkachuk. It's a great score by Bill Zito. He gave up no players. I mean, like, what was the trade? He goes, 3 firsts and a second. I go, who cares? It's a bunch of picks. This isn't the NFL where you go, oh, man, first round pick. That's like a 50% chance the guy's going to play. It's like 20% chance. Go take 8 picks. I couldn't care less. I'm going to have Brady Tkachuk. This guy's a stud. Great for Florida. And as I said, for the sports, Stu, people now will really hate Florida. Like, and F those guys. They missed the playoffs 1 year and they go get Brady Tkachuk. I hate Bill Zito. It's great for the sport.
Yes, it really is. The Panthers, listen, they missed the playoffs last year after winning back-to-back Stanley Cups, but that team is not about rebuilding. That team, if Matthew was healthy and now they had Brady and their guys are healthy next year, they were without Barkov the entire year. They think they can win it again next season, right?
No question about it. The amount of people who are like, is this the beginning of the end? Like even phrasing as a question, and before we even got the question, they go, no, This is not the beginning of the end. This is a dynasty. It was one off season, whether it's a calamitous group of injuries to key players. That's it. Matthew Tkachuk was out till New Year's Day. Barkov was out the entire season. If those guys are back and healthy, different story. The one thing which is interesting, Jason Demers, with whom I do our podcast on NHL Unscripted, he said Bob's gone. I said, what do you mean? Bobrovsky's the man. He goes, 37, high salary. I think he's going to go somewhere. So he thinks Bobrovsky might get dealt. How fascinating would this be? Connor Hellebuyck's probably the best goalie in hockey. He's won a Vezina multiple times. He's won the Hart Trophy for the most valuable player. Last year, a bit of a down season. Apparently, he wants it at Winnipeg. What a surprise. I've been there 4 times. Trust me, I wouldn't want to live in Winnipeg either. Apparently, he said more than enough of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Let me guess, he'd love to come to Florida. Just watch Bill Zito go get Connor Hellebuyck and Bobrovsky out. Let's go get Hellebuyck.
Another name nobody's going to be able to spell.
Yeah, very good point. It's like Skittish Feely. Stu, how about spelling Skittish Feely? Unbelievable. That's what crazy Hockman game you guys back in the day. Speaking of that.
It was rigged. I mean, the spelling bee's rigged. I mean,
Lebatard got Amari Stoudemire. That's not very hard to spell. Where's the hard aspect of Amari Stoudemire?
I remember the next season we did it. His 5th one was Jason Williams. I
mean, well, which Jason Williams? It's a tricky question.
That's supposed to be the trick. Yeah. Steve Nash, Stevenash.
Yeah. I got a quick question because in '94, when the World Cup was here in the the U.S. team made it to the round of 16, but never back then did I feel like that was a team that was in the mix. If they somehow get to the round of 16 again, not somehow, if they get to the round of 16 again or further, another round further, is this the event, Stu, that brings U.S. soccer to its peak? Like, is this the event that brings some of these, youthful athletes and the best athletes in our country to play soccer and say, hey, I want to be on that stage sometime? Or is this just going to be like '94, where 30 years later we're going to be like, maybe they can win one?
It's a great question. I'm not certain. I think we all will enjoy it. We'll talk about a soccer surge in the United States of America, and then the NFL will start, and we'll forget about it. I mean,
to Stu's point, everybody plays soccer when they're kids, Izzy. We all do. And then eventually you go, hey, there's other things. There's other better distractions, other things to do. So it was the same thing with USA Hockey. When they won the Olympics, people go, hey, yes, is this going to be this miracle on ice moment? I go, probably not. Guess what? The NBA playoffs are about to start. Like, that's it. It's cool right. A little bit. It's hard to see whether or not there'll be a generational surge. We'll have to wait 10 years to see if, more people participate, et cetera. But my general hunch would be no. I'm with Stu. I think it would be a great moment. People would lose their minds. The soccer people would be particularly obnoxious and annoying, and the rest of us would just go back and watch football, and it'd be great.
Right. I'm also not convinced. Like, they haven't played anyone.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't played one of these world powers like France or Germany yet. They haven't played them, and they won't play them until they get to the quarterfinals. So I'm not even certain this team is good enough to win the World Cup, but it is exciting. I have to give them that. The fact that they're already out of the group stage and they've moved on here and they're 2-0. That is listen, that's progress, Adnan. That's it,
I was trying to explain to my wife, I said, it's not very exciting right now because this is still, the early stages. She said, when right. To the really good stuff? I said, you mean the shootouts? That's what you care about.
Yeah, of course. That's all anyone cares. It should just be shootouts.
As soon as Izzy mentioned 94, all I thought about was Roberto Baggio. I'm like, Italy, that was unbelievable. This guy's supposed to be a stud. He's got like that weird little like rat tail on the back of his hair. And boom, he's missing a critical shot to shoot. I'm like, how could you not score?
Yes.
As Hawk was saying, you got to watch the guy's eyes. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, the goalie watches his eyes, the player's watching your eyes. Dive right, dive left. No, go right up the middle. Every time I go right, at least if 5 shots go up the middle, at least twice, you're going to score. The goalie's moving all over the place, right? That's a perfect strategy.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Izzy, we were talking about this. If I had 5 penalty kicks against a professional goalie, which is a promotion that we actually set up that I didn't attend, I was busy that day. If I kick one of those PKs right down the middle, goalies are always guessing. Is he going left? Is he going right? They're going to dive that way, whichever way they think I'm going. I put one right down the middle. Eventually, I'm going to score, right? I mean,
if the goalkeeper thought you were capable of striking the ball with pace, sorry, Adnan, with pace in any direction, he would probably jump.
Post. Yeah.
But this goalkeeper, this professional goalkeeper, would probably just wait for you to contact it, no matter what you do, and then just go save it. I don't know if you can get one in 5. I don't.
I think Stu could do it. 1 in 5, you could get it. Because just with that strategy, because the goalie's going to jump. There's no question about it. He's diving. He'd get that first goal up the middle. After that, like, okay, he's that much here. That's fine.
Real quick before we get to the weekend observations here, Adnan. Serena coming back and playing singles, huh? I mean,
great story, dude. She's 44 years of age. I go, this can't be true. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Her and Federer are supposed to be going in the Hall of Fame together in August. She's like, no, I've still got some more ass kicking to do. I'm going to go out there and play Wimbledon. Again, I don't get excited for the doubles. So when I heard Serena's playing doubles, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But going in as a wild card, like going into the singles, I don't care if she plays one match. I don't care if she plays 5. Serena's awesome. That's great for Wimbledon, great for the sport. In her 40s, she's still playing. Navratilova is doing that as a doubles. I get that. As a singles player in her 40s, Serena's the queen. It's awesome.
I mean, there are people, whether it's Serena, LeBron, Brindamore, makes me feel like at 48, I'm still in my prime. Like I can still do anything because look at these people. It's incredible.
You can, Izzy. I mean,
well, any of us can, right? You just got to do it.
Not any of us.
I think Izzy and Taylor can. The rest of us, I'm not sure.
Not so certain about Taylor.
Well, Taylor's still a kid. He's got a ways to go.